Hey guys, welcome back to Tip Tuesday. My name is Matthew Sturkey with Stone Mill Log and Timber Homes. A few weeks ago, we talked about foundation wall options, the different types of foundation walls from poured walls to block walls, etc. This week, we're going to talk about wall finishes or foundation wall finishes for those types of wall applications. And what are the different wall finishes that you can choose from, and what kind of cost structure are you looking at for each of those particular wall finishes, and what are some ways that you can value engineer your foundation wall finish if you're trying to cut some cost out of the project. So let's look at the different options that are available, and most notably, our clients are always wanting to have either natural stone or cultured stone on their foundation wall finish and their fireplace, chimney finish. So the first picture that you see here is a cultured stone finish in kind of a stacked stone pattern. There are different patterns that are available. This cultured stone is a manufactured product. It's a little bit thinner than natural stone. Usually it's about 1 3/4 to 2 inches plus your lathing on the outside of your foundation wall. So a little thinner, a little bit more lightweight, a little easier to install, and therefore it is a little more economical than a natural stone finish. If you want to go that natural stone route, as you can see here in this image, natural stone is one of the more popular, one of the more common finishes that people use on the foundation wall finish and on the outside of your fireplace chimney. That is most commonly used. So if you're trying to look at ways to cut costs from natural stone, which would be one of your more expensive options, you can always choose to go with a cultured stone product to cut some of the cost out of that line item. There are other more economical options even than from natural stone and cultured stone. If you're getting into some of your stamped concrete products, if you've got a poured wall application and you're looking to have a little bit of a pattern and some texture and some depth to the wall, a stamped concrete finish is a good option. It's certainly more economical than a cultured stone option and gives you a nice architectural fit and detail, on that lower level wall. Then you get into a traditional stucco finish. I know this picture is a little hard to see, but a stucco finish has got a little bit of texture and a little bit of depth to the outside of either a poured wall or a block wall. One of the things that you want to check on in your covenants and restrictions of your development, if you happen to be in a development and you have an architectural review committee and you have a list of covenants and restrictions, make sure that you are able to do a stucco finish on the outside of the foundation wall, because a lot of times in your developments, there are restrictions against doing anything other than a stone or cultured stone finish. So just make sure that you're able to do that before you put that in your budget, for the project. So stucco finish is certainly going to be in a lower cost range than your natural stone and your cultured stone. Stucco finish is certainly a much more economical option than those two. And then you've got textured block, which is a lot of block manufacturers will make a textured block where it has an exposed face with a little bit of depth and a little bit of texture to it. And then that could be painted if you wanted to have exposed texture block. Again, same thing with the stucco. A lot of developments will prohibit you from leaving your block exposed. You have to put a finish on the outside of the foundation wall, and it's generally going to be either a requirement to do natural stone or cultured stone, or even sometimes a stucco finish or a stamped concrete finish. So just check with that with the HOA to make sure you know what the restrictions are. And then when you're dealing with a lot of slope property with a lower level application where that lower level is a walkout, like you see here in this picture, this client went from a poured wall to a frame wall on the walkout side, and then instead of doing a stone finish on the entire wall, transitioned from a cultured stone with a ledge stone water table to a vertical board and batten finish, which actually cuts a lot of cost out as opposed to doing cultured stone all the way up to the top of this foundation wall. So this is a nice way to mix up the architectural finish and cut some cost out of this foundation wall finish line item compared to doing the entire wall in cultured or natural stone. So these are some of the many options that are available. If you have questions about any of these foundation wall options, please feel free to call us anytime. The thing that I would encourage you to do is when you're doing budgeting, make sure you estimate really what you want to have as your finished product. Go ahead and estimate that natural stone or the culture stone to see where you are, because you can always change to a different wall finish like a B&B on a walkout wall or a stamped concrete and use that as a value engineering, as a cost-cutting measure if you're trying to cut money and cost out of your budget. So go ahead and start with the finish that you want, that you really want to put into the project first. Estimate that, see where you are, and then if it fits within your budget goal, great, proceed forward. If it doesn't, then that's a good line item that you can use to cut cost, to get some cost out of the project budget. So thanks for joining us today. Hopefully this has been helpful. Feel free to call us anytime if you have questions. We look forward to you joining us next week for more Tip Tuesday. And until then, stay safe and healthy and take care.